Long Dogs and a Stamper. Um, I don't know if I did it right or wrong again, because I feel like I should be able to like come to the YouTube page and then find the video that I have set up, or the YouTube um, live setup, and it should just go live. But for some reason, I have to hit live every time. I don't know. Maybe that's correct, and I thought more to it. I don't know, but I'm glad you're here. If you're here, let me find me on my computer so I can see if actually anybody wants to chat. They can chat. If you're out there, please let me know you are out there once I get it up. Okay? Hold on one second. I'm looking. There I am. Let's see. Yep, found me. So that's good. Okay, well, here I am. So, I'm using we're gonna make a fun, I don't know what it's called. I called it, what did I call it? Like it's like a little folder type thing that you could put things in and give as a gift. Um, and I should have remembered where I found it, because I found it on a site, but it was from like years ago. And I'm sure it's been made over and over again, but this is my version of it. I'm making it because I am going to have, I'm going to be at a craft fair at the Kettle Moraine Ranch. I'm reading it off of paper on May 10th, the day before Mother's Day, Saturday, May 10th. It's in Eagle, Wisconsin. And it goes from 8 to 4. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but I will be there just Saturday. And like I said, it's Kettle Moraine Ranch in Eagle, Wisconsin. So if you want to check things out, please come and see me. But I'm trying to find things to make in order to show things that I do in the classes I put out there. And I found this and I thought it was super cute. So I thought I'd make a few, and then I thought, why not do a class on it? And I've been wanting to use this stamp set that was in the mini catalog. It's called For the Love of Books. And then when I checked, it was a last chance item, which is fine because you could still get it. But guess what? It is now gone. So unfortunately, this stamp set that I'm using for the majority of this project, I use other things also that are available. Some are last chance and not available. Some are last chance and still there at a discounted price. But this one stamp set that I love is now gone. But I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and continue on because I already made all of it. And I'll show it to you. And if you have it, that's great. And then maybe you can either purchase my class, which my class is $25, or if you'd rather, you can purchase $40 worth of Stampin' Up! Product before tax and shipping through my store, georginedarborough.stampinup.net. Hazel, one of my dogs, sorry. Hazel, go lay down. And now, if you opt in, you are able to get 10% after $20. And you can save that 10% and use it on future orders right off the bat, or you can use it, save it up and use it on one big thing. The awards are good for the whole entire year from where you purchased them. So it's a really good deal that you get 10% back. So at least $20 or more gets it. So $20, $2, $40, $4, it all adds up. So just that's out there. Again, I'm Two Long Dogs and a Stamper. If you'd like to, you can like, share, subscribe. What is the other things are my Facebook and YouTube channel with those same names. And My Gmail is georgies2longdogs@gmail.com if you'd like to get a hold of me, or Facebook message me at at my Facebook page, Two Long Dogs and a Stamper. So let's go ahead and get started. We have a lot to do. And of course, everybody was sleeping. Both Gus, my Basset Hound, and Hazel, my Dachshund, were both sleeping. And then I started talking to you guys, and now they are up and wanting to play. They're around the couch, peeking around each other and trying to get each other's attention. But let me go ahead and flip you down, and let's see if I can do this correctly. I did it last week, all good. Let's see if I can do it this week. And I think I gotta turn and see. Let's see how it is. Sorry if that made you dizzy. I'm gonna pack this up, I think, a little bit. Let's see if that helps. Yep, that's better. I haven't got the hang of this yet. Like, some people do it and it's so easy and not a problem. I hope this is the correct way. We will soon find out. If anybody's out there and want to tell me if it looks okay and that you can hear me, that would be good. Gus, go lay down. Go, lay down. Okay, so this is what we're going to make. I love it. And like I said, this is like one of my favorite stamp sets that came out of the MIDI catalog. It's a very simple stamp set. There's not a lot of stamps and definitely not a lot of die cuts, but I just love it. I don't know why, but I do. So this is the little like folder holder, whatever you want to call it, and you can put things in. Right now I only have 2 cards in it, but obviously, I think, not obviously, but I think 3, possibly 4 can go in it. So we're gonna make those 2. We're gonna make this little holder that you could put a gift card in. See? And this is another gift card holder. I didn't put anything on the back. And then I did a Post-it note little folder. And I was going to do a little notebook, and I may do it for the craft fair, but I didn't have a little notebook to do, and I was going to cover it. And then the folder holder, or whatever you want to call it, the itself. I also think a pen would be like really cute in here, but I didn't have a cute pen to add, so, but look at that. Wouldn't that be cute? If it was a cute pen. I think I'll purchase a couple pens that would match what I have. Okay, so let's start with this folder part and see. Oh, good. Hi, Carmen. So does it sound okay? Can you hear me? Can you see things? All that good stuff? So this is what we're gonna make, and we will see how it goes. Before I start, I'm gonna tell you this. This is the For the Books stamp set. Again, it's still available in French if you would like it in French, but the English version is gone. And this is what it has. It does have some dies, but very few. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 little dies. And then these are the stamps, and I love that heart. And these little glasses I will show you. So we'll be using this. And just like last week, I'm using parts of Spring Corners. Some of the sentiments. I don't know why I always get confused on that statement. And I know words are backwards. I don't know what to do for that. Everybody keeps on telling me that I have to put my phone the opposite way so the big screen isn't looking down. And for some reason, I can't get it to work that way as well. Like I know, I'm very technically, I don't know what I want to say, but not very great with technology. So I'm still playing with that. If anybody knows, or Carmen, if you know how I get it so that they're not reversed. I've Googled it and I've went ahead and did everything they say that I should do, and it's still reversed. So the only thing I guess I have to do is get out of my comfort zone and not have the big screen looking down and have the little cameras looking down, which I think I might try next week. So, but we're going to be using parts of this, and also the dies. I love these dies. I think I'm going to always use these rectangle dies from Textured Notes. Sweet, so we'll be using these, and then I know I should stop using these because stop using this because this is also a last chance item. It is in stock still. It is my favorite embossing folder, called Distress Tile 3D embossing folder. It's 162189, and it is on sale. I think it's like $9 instead of $11. And then we'll be using these Pocket Thoughts dies also. And these are also the last chance item. They are on sale, but I can't remember how much they are, but they're item 163552, and that's the pockets that we're using to make the gift cards. So I think that's everything. Oh, and cardstock, of course. We are using Crumb Cake, Boho Blue, which is also a last chance item because they're the in colors that are going away because we're getting new ones the first week of May. And Pecan Pie and Lost Lagoon, and Basic Beige. And we're also using Timeless Plaid 6x6. This is still available, 164678. I've used this so many times, I love it. And the last thing, which we're going to start with, it's a big piece of paper to make the little folder. It is also still available. This is the Country Lace 12x12 paper. It is item number 163415. And I just chose a piece in here thinking it's all the colors that I've used in the projects. The only thing I did not use in the projects, and I'll show you what I did, that is on this paper is the gray. But this Basic Beige, I don't know if you could see it. I just liked it because it also looked distressed, and I think this whole folder looked distressed, and I'll show you what I did. But let's start. There we go. So you need a 12x12 to make this folder, and what you do is, let's see, you score it. Let me get my glasses on because I can't see a thing without my cheaters. You're going to score it at 3 1/4. So scoring is using the light gray little, whatever you call this. So you're going to score it at 3 1/4. And then you're going to score it, turn it around and score it on the other side, 3 1/4. And then you're going to pick either the top or the bottom. It's going to be the bottom, whichever you want, and you're going to score at 3 3/4. Okay. Oops, I may have pushed too hard. Sometimes if you push too hard on the DSP paper, you might go through it. Unlike the cardstock. Cardstock is really heavy, DSP is not. But then you're just going to fold it at those. Oh, I want that on the inside. I like the gray, but I didn't like it for my project, but I really like this outside, so I'll show you what I did. I mean, it looks fine. It just doesn't totally match what I was doing. So you're just going to fold on the lines, and you're going to go ahead, here it is. Go ahead and burnish so they're nice and crisp. And then you're going to fold up on the 3 3/4 and burnish. See, I did. Darn it. See where it is right there? Do you see the little, let's see if I move it this way. There it is. I went a little too hard when I used my scorer, but that's okay. I'm still going to continue. Then you're going to fold these over the top part, not the side, not the bottom part where it's 3 3/4, but at the top. You're just going to fold this over and burnish that, and do that on this side too. And see, this is what I didn't like. I didn't like that gray, and it looks wonderful actually. The gray, I mean, I love the paper. I just didn't like it with all my projects, and you'll see what I'm talking about when I add it in. Okay, then you're gonna take Terran tape, and you're gonna close it up. You can use anything you wanna use. I mean, any kind of tape. I just like the Terran tape. I don't use the runner tape very often. And I use the glue, the liquid glue all the time, but liquid glue would be kind of messy doing this. So I'm just gonna do that. Let me think. I need it to go all the way down. Couldn't remember if I did, and then you do. Put it on one side and burnish it so it sticks. Let's see. I'm struggling to get it off. Usually it's not this hard. There we go. See, my dog's quieted down. Hopefully they stay like that. Okay, and fold it over. And it's okay that it covers, you know, see how it hangs over, or there's a little more on one side or the other. Then you're gonna do the same thing on the bottom part right here and right here, and then push it up. So let's go ahead and get that Terran tape back. And what's so cool is it makes its own little pocket. It's not like we're making any pockets with it. I'll show you. So burnish it, pull it off. Oops, well, that didn't work. There we go. I just didn't burnish it enough. It didn't stick. There we go. And then you just push it up. And when you push it up, it already makes that little pocket. Let me line it up a little bit here. Got a piece here. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, see? It makes a little pocket. Now you can have, there's a pocket here and there's a pocket in here. So you could fill it up even more. I think it would be really cute to put some candy in here too, but I didn't have any candy to put in there. So we'll just have to pretend. What is that chocolate, the little square chocolates? That would probably be the best. Let's see. And then I just add a dimensional so that it pops up a little bit there, and a dimensional. And the making of the folder is done then. But we have to decorate it, right? We can't just make it like this. So what I did, because I didn't like the gray, not that I didn't like it, I just didn't think it went really well, perfect with my things that I'm putting into it. Like, I didn't mind this gray because it's covered up with all the things that we're putting in, but these I kind of wanted to change. So what I did was I took a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 square, and I used that distressed embossing folder and went ahead and embossed it. And I'm going to cut this in half on the diagonal. And when you cut things when they are already embossed, you have to be very careful because it can rip it too. So when I do that, I always start in the center and go slow so that it doesn't rip it. And there we go. Okay. we have 2 triangles that will work. And then I'm just going to add them to the little flaps. Looks like a shirt collar almost. Because I kind of liked that better. So one here. Just line it up. You can use tear and tape on it too if you like the fit better, because it does, the tear and tape just sucks it in a little bit more. I just did not. And then I'll go ahead and add it on here. Okay. You'll have to tuck it under the little area right here. And then this will match everything up a little bit better. Oops. See what I did? It stuck to my finger and I just ripped it. Darn it. I will fix it later. How silly was that? There we go. Fixed, kind of, sort of. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead. I cut out, using the dies from the stamp set for the books, I cut out the book, the little page to make it look like a book, pages of the book, and then the tassel. And I did 2 tassels. And I'll show you what I did first. And it was wrong. And then I decided that was wrong and tried a different way, and it worked so much better. The only 2 inks I think that we're using right now are going to be Pecan Pie and Memento Black. And I'm going to go ahead and take the Pecan Pie, and I'm going to use our blending brush, and I'm going to take a little bit off, a little bit more, and we're just going to make this look. I showed this to a colleague of mine at work, at school, and they're like, oh my gosh, that looks so cool. It really looks like leather when you use that. And I thought that too. I think that's why I love this so much. It just looks kind of vintage, and I kind of like that. You always do it off on the glass a little bit so you don't get, if you don't, you will get these pieces that, you know, like a blunt of the brush, so it looks like the brush itself, and it doesn't look natural. So you just give it a little work on that, and then I thought I'm gonna do that same thing to the piece that makes it look like it has pages again. And I just take some off because this piece doesn't need a lot, just a little bit. Okay, and then the colors of the tassel, let me see something real quick. Yeah, again, basic beige. These are the tassels, and I'll show you how to make them in just a second. But I like to make them look a little not so perfect. Oops, but don't break it. Almost did. Okay, and then in the middle of the book, I went ahead and used, or the front of the book, the cover, I went ahead and used the little heart that comes with this set and put it directly in the center. There we go. Put that aside. I'm going to use that again. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you how we do these little tassels. I went ahead and used my bone folder and just gently curled them a little bit so it'll be easier to roll them. I almost broke this one, so I gotta be very gentle. Hopefully I won't break it as I go. There we go. Okay. The first time I did it, I made them and then put them on the string. Guess what? It doesn't work so well when you do that. Here, let me clean this up so I don't get pecan pie all over me. I mean, it worked fine, but it just didn't look as good. It looks better when you roll the the linen thread in with the little tassels. So let me go ahead and add a little glue, and we'll get that to be a little sticky. Let it dry a little bit. I still get it all over my fingers. You would think it wouldn't be after letting it sit. And I'm gonna go ahead and put glue and put the page here, the thing that makes it look like pages. Add it down here. Oops. There we go. So I'm just gonna put this to the side for a second. We're gonna need this. While I'm letting this dry a little bit, I'm gonna do some stamping because I want that to dry just a little bit, because then the glue is tacky, but yet it won't get all over my fingers. Okay, so for the tag or the decoration for this little folder, I needed this piece, and I went ahead and stamped the books on this. And the glasses are so cute. Let's see. And I did use Memento because I'm going to color, you know. I'm back to the coloring. Last week I didn't do any coloring, but I'm back to the coloring because that's my jam. I love it. And I went ahead and put it on this side. I think I have to ink my Memento up. I put it on this side because we're going to put the book on the other side. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna close that up so I'll put my hand in it, wipe this off. I'm gonna be using that again. Okay, and then I used the words "You Amaze Me," and those were from the Spring Corners. I just love all the wordings, all the sayings in here. So I'm gonna find "You Amaze Me." Here it is. And I use Pecan Pie. Again. I know, I saw that Christina's on and I'm like, oh, if I had any chance for anybody to watch me, yeah. It wouldn't be so good because she's on. What is she making tonight? I'm gonna go ahead and add "You Amaze Me" up here at the top. It's so hard not to do it on the days because she has so many nights, and the nights are the only time I can do it. Wednesday night works best, so there we go. Ink, paper, scissors class. Oh, okay. I'll go back. I always watch her too. So, I also did some color around the edges just to give it a little bit so it's not so bland, you know, basic beige. I mean, you can just leave it also, but I just like this look. I've been really loving the basic beige paper. I don't use white very often lately. I don't know why, but I don't. Okay. So we're gonna do more stamping on this, but I think this is dried enough. I'm gonna go ahead and make these little, I don't know what can't remember what they're called. But what you do is you go ahead and put the thread on here and you roll it in as you go. So it's stuck in there. Before I rolled it and then kind of tried to attach it. I'll show you what I did. And you just roll it. Except for I forgot to add some more. See? Except for I'm a goof and I was supposed to make it so that it was further down, so I had a little piece to put on the outside, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's one. And if you need to add a little glue at the very end to secure it, I did last time. And then take the other one and do the same thing, except for goofy me, I didn't leave a piece of string to hang it from. You'll see. I'll figure something out. And you roll it again. The trick is to let that glue stick get tacky, because if not, it gets all over your fingers. I mean, it gets a little bit now, but if it was wet glue, which I tried before learning to let it set, it made a huge mess. The more I do these, the quicker they become. And just squeeze it. Okay, so what I did was I forgot to leave a piece of thread so I could hang it from the book, but we'll figure it out. Snip it. And see, I was supposed to do a piece of thread so it hung. I guess I'll just glue it, unfortunately. I'll put it right about here. I'm gonna let that glue get tacky too before we put that on. And we'll go ahead and color the books. Okay, the colors I used are pretty much all these. Oops, not that one. Oh, did I use that one? No, I don't think so. So these are the colors that I used. It looks like, yeah, Old Olive. I used Mocha. I think these are Slate. Are these? Nope, Gray Granite. I think I have Slate in here somewhere. Yeah, Smoky Slate, Crumb Cake, Lost Lagoon, and Calypso Coral. Those are the ones that I used, and I just colored the books. And I just kind of played with it, and it is kind of whatever you want to do. These are the colors I love, but it doesn't mean that you have to use these colors, obviously. But I used Crumb Cake for the pages, and I just used the dark end, trace the lines that show the book, pages. I love how Stampin' Up! Gives that dimension on the stamp, so you really don't have to think too hard of where you want to put it. And you can always go back if you want to add more. Okay. And then I used Lost Lagoon. I'm sorry I didn't do any of this ahead of time, so you are unfortunately going to have to watch me color tonight. I like going, I do the dark first for the highlights and then go back with the light, and then I usually go back with the dark. But this is a problem. Lately I've been doing that too much, and then it gets all fuzzy around the edges because the alcohol marker bleeds. And like I said, that's totally my fault because I keep going back and forth. So I'm trying not to do that as much as I can. I think I use the grays. Light, oh, dark. I think I used the grays on this one. Like I said, these are the colors I enjoyed and I like, so I used them. Not the colors you have to use, right? Books can be any colors. I think I had a little crumb cake, so it looked a little older. Keep using that word older, but kind of like a vintage look. There we go. And then the Calypso Coral, another color that I've been loving lately. Like that. At least it's quick coloring. You don't have to watch me too much. And if you guys get bored, I'll stop coloring and color it later. And the last one, I think I used Oh, I know what I did. I used Mocha. And then I used crumb cake. I need to go back so it doesn't look dark enough for me. I love how they obviously the name blends, but they just blend together without much effort. Okay, and then I have to add the glasses because the glasses are so gosh darn cute. Watch. Oh, wrong one. Here are my glasses. I'm gonna take the heart off. Aren't they cute? They're so cute. Tap, tap, tap. I think I used brown, I did, but I'm gonna use black on these. Watch, I'm sorry if my head's in the way. There we go. So cute. I don't know why I love this stamp set so much. There's not much to it. There's only a few stamps, but it's so super cute. And I'm sorry you guys wouldn't be able to purchase it because it is not available anymore. Okay, so then I'm gonna go ahead and glue this on. Makes me sad. Like I said, there should be a string hanging out and then I could just easily add it to the back, but because I didn't get to do that, I'm just going to put it like that and add some dimensionals. Should have added the dimensionals and then, but here, what I'll do is this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hope that it covers. Yep, it covers. And I put it on an angle. And just added it. Okay, that's done. And what I did was, one more thing, let me put these to the side. I didn't like the way this was so plain up here, so I went ahead and used, again, another one of the dies from the Textured Notes. That's where this came from also, all these dies. And I used the smallest one, and I'm going to, and I took a piece of the pecan pie and used the Stampin' Cut mini corrugated 3D embossing folder, and I already did that. And this is 165559, but it's also in the suite of Textured Notes. And I did a class last week with that, but I used it again because I loved it. So I am going to go ahead and stamp the flower that comes from this Spring Corners again. Like I said, I used a few of these, and they're falling off because I didn't put them on nicely. I used a few from that stamp set. Kind of love that stamp set too. I haven't done a class yet on that. And I just used the pecan pie. I didn't do any coloring with these. I just wanted the flowers all natural. And I centered it and put it down. That's it for that. And then I took the pecan pie and I went ahead and I used dimensionals. When I do it, they're probably sitting, oh, they're there. I was like, they're probably sitting right in front of me. There we go. You know what, let me cut this really quick. I didn't cut it to what I needed. I just used a piece that I had already corrugated, you know, I already did in the embossing folder, so now it should be good. Wow, my fingers really don't want to work tonight. Okay, just add it, center it on this. Aw, tell her I said hi back. Love her and all she does. I want to grow up to be her, even though I'm much, much older than her. Okay, so I'm just going to add that right there. And it just gave an extra little something. And because this is embossed, and this is embossed, I put an extra amount of glue on. There we go. And then this I put on down here. But first I want to use the ribbon. And it's a basic beige. I have to get more of this. I use this almost on everything. Well, I think we all do, Carmen. Let's see. Go ahead and snip it. Use some tear and tape. And we're gonna hide this. Oops, shoot. I'm gonna scoot it over. I was supposed to put it underneath, and I didn't. I'm just gonna make this go this way. This way. Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate that. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on dimensionals too because, you know, dimensionals, you can't go wrong. And it's not like, well, you could mail this, but usually you probably wouldn't mail this. It's more like a hand it to you kind of gift. I have 22 more days of school left before summer break. And I am so super excited, so I can do a lot more of this kind of stuff instead of my actual job. There we go. And what I did was I took the little piece, put it right here. No joke, I am not organized at all. We sold our house a year ago, January. We lived in it for 23 years, and now we live in a little apartment, which we love because we don't know what buying right now is not very practical because everything is so high in price. So actually live on a property of the stable that my horses, and then I work here also. So it's really practical and it's really awesome, but we go back and forth on if we ever really want to purchase another house because this is pretty nice and convenient, but the place is pretty small. And I don't have a craft room, so where I'm crafting is oh, thank you, Joy. That's awesome. I appreciate that. Where I craft is in my kitchen, my little kitchen with a table pushed up against the wall, and yeah, it's kind of scrunchy, but that's okay. It will do. We're working on it. My husband's actually been really great about the disaster I have sometimes going on. So I just go ahead and fray this too. And I forgot I was supposed to fray down here. I just do. Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to fray it, you don't have to fray it. I think it just gives it a little more something. Like it, I don't know. I think it looks like what it should look like when it's frayed. Some people don't like to do this. But I'm just pulling the little pieces apart. And then we're done with the folder. Now we get to make the fun things that go in it. Okay? Let's see. Okay, so there's the folder. And this is the gray that I was talking about that was on the outside on those little flaps. I don't know why, I just didn't like it. I don't mind it on the inside, I just didn't like it on the outside. So let's go ahead and make the things that we're going to fill it with. The first thing I think we should make, it's the easiest. Let me move some things around, throw away some garbage. I am from Elkhorn, Wisconsin. It's right by Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. That's where we live now. So, but I didn't, yeah. But we came from Pell Lake, Wisconsin. That's where our house was. Do you know where Lake Geneva, Wisconsin is? It's kind of a touristy place. And there's some big, beautiful houses along the lake, but then there's normal houses too. So let's go ahead and make the Post-it note cover. And let's see, what did I do with that? Oh, here it is. See, it's super simple. Boop. And I only used half of a thing of the Post-its. You can use a whole thing, and I forgot to grab some. I have a bunch at school that I brought over there, and I forgot to grab more. So I just have even less than a half left that I can show you with. But I am going to, what you need is a piece of, I'm using a piece of basic beige. Okay, guys. I love that you're talking to me. It's so funny. I have never had so many people talking. So I have to get used to that because I look and then I get all like, oh my gosh, what am I doing next? But it's exciting. Okay, so I have a 7 3/4 by 3 1/4. I forgot the measurements. And I went ahead and scored already at 2 1/2, and then 2 3/4, and then again at 6, and then 6 1/4. Okay, and I also embossed this with, you know, my favorite embossing folder that I use way too much, especially since it's pretty much gone. I'm in the northern Wisconsin. My daughter is down by Milwaukee. Oh, Milwaukee is about 45 minutes from me. So it's not far. Oh, northern Wisconsin. I love northern Wisconsin. I would love to live in that area. So I'm going to go ahead and put the embossing in the embossing folder, and it's going to stick out, but we're going to fix that. I'm going to go ahead and emboss really quick. I'm down here on the floor because there's not enough room up there. But what I need to use is, what did I do with my embossing? I lost my gray. I thought I was so good about putting things together, and now I can't find. Well, we might have to make it without embossing. Darn it, I didn't really want to do that. I know I'm gonna find it as soon as I look away. Ah, I found it. Okay, so we need to use 1 and we use 4. And this comes with, the plates come with the embossing machine. Okay, so I went ahead and embossed, and then there's that area that's sticking out. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it through again. And it's right at the score line, so it really doesn't hurt anything. Sometimes if you do this, you can't get the things matched up, the patterns matched up, but because it's at the score line and we have to fold it anyways, it's not a big deal. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that through again. Oh, that didn't work. Hold on. Sorry, I didn't go far enough. Trying to rush. There we go. I was being smart and not putting it through all the time, and I didn't put it far enough. Okay, and because it's distressed, it still does, it looks distressed, even if, like, sometimes when you emboss part of it and then try to emboss it again, it smushes the area that you've already embossed, if that makes sense. I might have to score again because I can't see the score lines. It didn't happen like that last time. Hold on. Okay. 3 1/4. 3. There we go. 3 1/4. Let's see if I can see them now. Wow, last time I did not do this. That's okay. We'll figure it out. There. And there it is. There. And then there. Okay. Jeez. And there. That's interesting. Of course, when I'm doing it by myself, it didn't do that, but I'm gonna go ahead and score it. I mean, burnish it if I could find. Let's see what happened. Oh, here it is. I gotta start cleaning up, or things are gonna get lost. So I live and work at the barn, and I get to see the horses all the time. They're like right out my window, which is so awesome. It's always been my dream to have my own place, but you know, that's a big dream. Even just for 1 or 2 horses, ever since I was a little kid. Okay, so you scored it so that there's like this little 1/4 inch ledge like on both things. See that? And then you just take your Post-it notes and see, these aren't even very nice Post-it notes, so I'm not going to put them in because they're kind of all messed up. And you put tear and tape on it, and you stick it down like that. And it's a thin one, so if it was thicker, it would hold it up better. Okay, then all I did was use those same die cuts and die cut 2 sizes using the Textured Notes dies again. See, I use this one and this one. So the very first one and the second one. And then I just took, let me move this, the heart from the stamp set. Oh, I already have it out. and stamped 3 hearts and then colored them. So I went ahead and used the Memento again. And I put one on the, I'm struggling here. One on the end. I did the ends first so then I can get them centered a little bit. One and end. And then I put it in the middle just so I can get some of it correct. And then I went ahead and colored them again. And I used the colors I've been using. Lost Lagoon, Lost Lagoon, Crumb Cake, and Calypso Coral. Crumb Cake. Can't find my light crumb cake here. I just used it. It's sitting right in front of my face and I couldn't find it. Crumb Cake. And Calypso Coral. I can't wait for the new catalog coming out. I have so much, not so much, but I have a few things from it that I can't wait to use. But I haven't done that yet because I have things that I wanted to use before that. Okay, and then I just use dimensionals. Popped it onto the Lost Lagoon die cut here. I just centered it as much as I could. I love these die cuts because look at how perfect. I mean, they're just perfect. And then this would sit better. And then I added it. I'm not going to do it because I want to put a good Post-it note in it. And what I did was a little too far, I think, when I scored it, and then I have to cut a little bit off of here so it gives a little lip, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to take like 1/4 of an inch off. I know you can't see. I'm off the screen. Okay. When I put the fuller Post-it notes, it'll sit better. And then this will go right there, like this. So then it'll tuck under. You pull it out, got it, pull it in. And this gets up on dimensional too. And you want to put the dimensionals at the bottom because if you put them at the top, then you'll close the whole entire thing. And you want to be able to get to the Post-it notes, right? So, and then I added a little bow. I'm not a very good bow maker, and I do have a bow maker, but I tend to, when it's this stuff, I just make them myself. Okay, that's it for that. Let me move these to the other side here. Okay, so why don't we make one of the pockets. For the pockets, I used, like I said, these are last chance items. I used the pockets from, I don't know what I did with them. Here they are. Pocket Through Dies. There's only 3 of them, and I'm so sad. I was going through all my things, and I thought, I am going to put all the things that are retired in a pile because I've been thinking of doing a buy one, get one, probably like in end of June, beginning of July, probably in beginning of July. And I found these. I forgot I even had these. That's so sad. And then they went to the last chance list. That's how I found quite a few things actually. Oh, and not I found it, but I love the Love You Latte, or that one coffee one, and that one's on the last chance. And I know it has to go because the new things come, but that's another one of my favorites. These are the ones I think I'm not going to give up and I'm going to keep. But I didn't have too many of those. I thought I was going to have so many more. No, I did not see that. Double rewards on Friday, this Friday and Saturday for National Scrapbook Day. I scrapbook too. That was my first love. Like, that's how I started doing this. I have to start scrapbooking on live. I've made quite a bit of things, but I just didn't start yet. I'm just overwhelmed with doing the cards once a week. Maybe I'll flip-flop. Ah, we just had free shipping too, so it's pretty exciting though. Okay, so for this one, actually I shouldn't have done that yet. We're gonna stamp those books again, and I'll show you how to put it together in a second. I just wanna go ahead and do the stamping. Did I leave the books out? I did. And I used Memento. I don't know how I missed that. I was on the site today too. I'm gonna put that right about there. There we go. And I'm also going to add the words, "You're a solid," and I would hope people would say 5-star if you were getting a card from somebody, right? I'm gonna put that right in the center. There we go. So, should I do more coloring, guys? Do you care? And I'll add the glasses. Okay. And I use Memento on the glasses too. Carmen, do you have this set? Does anybody have this set? I'm not going to do the coloring. I'll do the coloring later because I don't think you want to see me color again. And so what I did was take the pocket, and I took a pattern paper from the Timeless Plaid, and then I cut out again using the die cuts from Textured Notes. I used 2 of those. I used, actually one of those. I used this one and cut 2 of them, one out of the Lost Lagoon cardstock and one out of the DSP. And I'm going to go ahead and just glue those together. On the back here, I also used some of the stamps. It's a different one. It is the ones where the books look like they're going up and down. I guess they can lay on the floor too, on the ground too, but I took them as going up and down. I put them right here in the corner. And I also use the heart again and the message for you. My sister's a super big reader. I listen to books more so that when I'm crafting I can listen to them because I do like reading, but I like crafting more. And when I clean the barn or go for walks, I listen to them. So that's how I get my reading in. Okay, and then go ahead and do the heart. And find the For You. The For You, I did Memento. And I did just added to the Lost Lagoon. I just used the Dark Lost Lagoon and just gave the little strips on the books. And then I did the heart. Nothing fancy, just gave it some color. Okay, so that's what I did on the back. And then I'm going to show you. I went ahead and glued these together. I know, I like this set. Just like that. So that's the back. And then you can write on it if you choose to, right? And then I'm going to take the pocket and I'm going to use Terran tape, which I have out somewhere, but I'm going to go ahead and use what I don't know what I did with it. Use my other one. Add Terran tape to the edges. I always said I was going to make something with these and never did, and then they just kind of got put away. But I think I'm going to keep them. I think they're a good die cut to have. There we go. Burnish. There we go. And then I'm just gonna, they kind of just, it sits so nicely in this. Look at, it just goes right, if you line it up at the bottom, and it sits so nicely the rest of the way. It's so crazy how these dies, they weren't even made for each other, but they work so well together. There we go. And then I add, again, that basic beige. And I did a faux bow because, I think I did. No, I didn't, actually. Wow, I'm proud of myself. I usually do a faux bow. If I can find it again. See? I lose everything as I go instead of keeping it in an area. You guys probably can see it. This is the white. Well. I'm not helping myself out here. Oh, found it. I put it on my computer, right? Perfect place for it. I went ahead and wrapped it. Need quite a bit though to make the bow. I think it's about 12 inches. Oops, don't pull too far. I did draw a knot first because I can never do bows with my fingers and then untie it. I did not give myself 12 inches by any means here. That's why I should have just folded. Hold on. See if I can do it. Oh my goodness. Why do bows never work out when you're wanting to work out? I'm just gonna do a knot. Make my life easier. There we go. I like the knots are cute too. Okay. There we go. Trim it. Of course, I would do a bow, but you guys are sitting here watching me fumble with the bow, so I don't think I should do a bow. And then I took the linen thread and just made a knot. Right there. Pinch it up. It's better for it to be up and pinched than down. There we go. I double knotted it to keep it there. Fingers don't want to work on video. Snip it off, and then again I frayed it. And of course, I have lost my take a pic tool. I know it's here, but I can't see it. You guys probably can see it better than I can. I know when people do that and watching them, they're like, it's right there. So I'll just use my scissors and fray it. Just like I did on everything else. Just keep it all cohesive, right? Take your pick tool works so much better than a pair of scissors. Okay, and I'll color it later because you don't want to see me color it again. It's the same coloring. Okay, so that one is done. Oh, good. I like knots better than bows too, but I know a lot of people like bows. So, and then I made another pocket, same way, just a little different. I used, again, the plaid. And I used the little book, which I love. And I use those same dies. The only difference is I use the smaller version to go on here, like this. And I'll show you what I did with it really quick. Let me go ahead and put the book together. Exactly, it is because I'm live. Go ahead and make the book look a little, use the pecan pie again, rub off onto the, either on a piece of paper or your glass mat if you have it. I love this thing. It's like my favorite. I used to go through so much paper before. Now I just wipe it off and it's all set. I just have to always remember to wipe it off before I move on to something else. Okay, so there. I'll go ahead and do these. Just a little bit. Oops. This is boho blue, and this one is a sad. I loved these colors, these in colors. These were like my favorite. They're just my kind of colors. I like this year's new colors too, though. I think those are fun. I have them down here. Let's see, I just haven't used them yet. Let's see. The Timid Tiger. Oops. Sorry, Timid Tiger, not Bishop Beige. Secret Sea. Darling Duck, Cloud Cover, and Strawberry Slush. So they're really pretty. They're different, so I really like them. I love the Secret Sea. I know some people say they're not sure about that color, but I love that. Those are the new ones I can't wait to use. But I'm sad that these are going because I really enjoy them. Okay, and then I use the heart. Where I probably, there we go, and added it to the book again. Yeah, you're right, it does save on ink because you can use it instead of just throwing it out. You can use the ink that's on the glass. Okay, I'll go ahead. Oh, I should have taken care of this. Add the glue to my tassels. Let that set up a little bit while I'm doing the rest. There we go. I usually do a lot of this, and I didn't have time during the week to do all of it, so that it's more prepped, and you don't have to watch me do the same thing over and over. So I apologize for that. There we go. So let's go ahead and put this together while we're waiting for the glue to set up. So here's my, oh, here it is. So what I did was I made the pocket. I folded it at least. I didn't put it down yet. I'm gonna go ahead and burnish it. And I just fit it. And I took about, just about an inch off. Maybe a ½ inch off the top. And we're gonna use it on the inside. Let's see, I'm gonna look really quick because I didn't write down that measurement. Yeah, it was about an inch. I'll show you what I did. See, I took the top off because we're going to put this here. Down here. Line it up so it's just kind of even on the sides. And I did take my scissors and see how it's right there, and I trimmed it. Ta-da. My dogs are being so good. I'm gonna jinx it by saying that, you know that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put the tear and tape on this. Great. Didn't put the tear in. Oh yeah, I did. I thought I didn't put it back, but I did. To make the little pocket. I made some little pockets for, it was not secretary, administration assistant day, and we got some cards, gift cards for her with a plant, and I made these and we put the gift cards in it and then spiked them into the plant. I thought that was such a cute, I didn't come up with that, I just made them. Somebody asked me if I'd make them, and of course I would. And I did, and that was such a cute idea, so I think I'm going to do that for the craft fair, just to give people some ideas and see what they can, show them what they can do with things like this. Okay, then I took this piece and I just put it right in here, just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and add glue. Slip it down there. Oops, stuck to my finger. Oops, center it more. I like this glue because then you can move it around. There we go. And then, why don't we go ahead and make our tassels. This time I'm going to remember to leave a little bit out so I could put it behind the book, right? Guess what I forgot to do though? Let's see if I could still do it with the glue. Break the fibers a little bit so it's easier to roll. Yeah, it's gonna be too hard. Darn. It'll just be a little harder to roll. That's okay. Okay, leave a little out. This time I remembered. And then start rolling. Go. Took me a second. There's one more book, I think, on the card, but I will not make you sit through me making the book. I will just pretend. One of these, one more. See, it's much harder if you don't bend them like it with the bone folder. It's harder to roll. They just don't move as easily, but I did not do that, and I put the glue on first. Okay, we'll snip it. You know what, I forgot to show you on the last one, I'll show you on this one. See, maybe that's why I was supposed to make two. Tear and tape. Right about there. Stick it on the back side. And I didn't put another piece of tear and tape, as Christine says, a tear and tape sandwich, because I'm going to go ahead and put a dimensional over that, because the book needs to be up. What I forgot to show you guys was this down and I'll show you. Put that right in the center. I took my Take Your Pick tool, if I could ever find it, but because, oh, it's where it should be. And I took and I just pulled them out a little bit on the tassels so it looked like a tassel. Like that. See, even with my fingers are still gluey, even with letting it dry some because I forgot to bend it with the bone folder. There we go. And then, of course, we have to fray this. There we go. And then I just stamped, hold on, for you on this little piece in pecan pie. And I didn't I just snipped it into somewhat of a square, like not a perfect square, but just snipped. However you want it. It doesn't need to be perfect. And I'm going to go ahead and use my brush again and give it a little color so it's not just basic beige. I have enough on there for this little piece that I really don't have to add more. I don't think. I think it's good enough to give it a little dimension. And then I just, again, the twine. Like, these are my favorite things, and I just wrapped, trimmed, and put it behind. Tear and tape again. Take it off my fingers, twist, and put it behind here. Let's see. I put it straight up and down with this one, but I think this is okay. However you want to put it, just a little different. And another piece of tear and tape. And I'm going to go ahead and take that off and add one dimensional right in the center. Squeeze it. And add it up in the corner. Oops. And I'm going to snip and snip. And there's number 2. Well, 2 pocket. Okay. So put those away. Let me clean up a little bit. I'm getting out of control here. Making a mess. Making a mess. I have a mess. I'm just making it. Throw away some of this so that I have room to actually do some crafting. I have 2 cards left. They're not hard, and like I said, the coloring, I think I will wait in that color. Oh, I found my tear and tape. It was in the garbage by accident. Okay, so let's see, which one is this? This one is the one that has coloring, but we'll do the stamping. I won't do the coloring because it's pretty much the same coloring as before. So then you don't have to sit here and watch me color. This is Crumb Cake. I couldn't remember that name. That's sad. It's like one of my favorite papers. We have this, which we have to put through the embossing. I already cut it out using, yes, those same dies that I've been using, Textured Notes. I used part of the plaid. I also used the smaller version of one of the Textured Notes. And this is where I put the stamping on. So I'm gonna go ahead and stamp it so you can see what I did. And then I have the inside where I double matted because I just love to do that, even though I know it's kind of a waste of cardstock. And I know I can cut out the center, but I don't do that yet either. So I just like that look. Okay, so why don't I get that stamp again? Yes, it's the same stamp. And I used Memento. And this one I used white, and I don't know why I did. I mean, it looks fine white, but don't you think basic beige would look so much better with this crumb cake? So I'm going to go ahead and use basic beige for this one. Ta-da. And I use the glasses. I hope, because if not, I don't know where they are. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not, oh, I found them. Duh. See, as we go, I fall apart a little bit. I shouldn't, but I do. You would think I'd fall apart at the beginning. Okay, go ahead and add the glasses. Go. So cute. Oh, and then one more thing, and this is from that Spring Corners. It says, "Happy we are friends," because I thought, oh my gosh, I just, like I said, I love all these. That's not it. All these sayings. They're just so sweet. Here it is. Sure it's straight, kind of sort of straight. It's kind of hard to be straight, it's in a corner, but let me just look here. There we go. And I used the Memento on this too. I don't know why I do this also. I'm a creature of habit. I use a lot of Memento when it comes to the words. And I just put it down. Oops, I just moved it. Hopefully I didn't move it too much and smear it. Ooh, I don't like that. I'm glad I'm not going to color this because I'm not going to put it on. See how that came out so dark? I moved the stamp really awkward. So I will redo that, but I wanted to show you what I did. I colored it, but I also used the heart. Actually, I think I used the heart because this one was a little bigger from the Spring Corners. This one was just a little bit smaller, so I could fit the 3 of them in. And I kind of did that one. That one. Just like they're floating up from the books. Then I colored it. But like I said, I'm not going to color it in front of you because you saw me color books and you don't need to see me color books again. Let me go ahead and put this through using the embossing folder. It's this one, the mini corrugated 3D embossing folder. I really like this one. This is a new one and it comes with the Textured Note suite and it's going to be a favorite. I just like it. gives a good like texture, as it says, textured notes. Okay, and then I did the layering. It's all about the layering, right? Move some stuff out of the way. This one I kind of put in the center, and I made it kind of big, so I'll trim it off. But I'll just do this. I changed my blade on my trimmer finally because it was fraying the paper. You know how it leaves those little pieces behind? Go ahead and add that. I'm going to trim it off. I usually don't do it this way, but for some reason I did. Oops, sorry, did I move you? There we go. And then I took the piece of the like corrugated and I put that down. So it's like crumb cake on crumb cake, which I kind of like that look. And then I added this. So let's go ahead and put this down. Oh, you have to kind of put quite a bit of glue on this compared to just like a regular piece of cardstock because of all the bumps. And then I put the Lost Lagoon, another one of my favorite colors. Again, a little bit of extra glue because it's that bumpy that you're putting it on. Normally you wouldn't have to use that much. And I just centered it. There we go. And then I took dimensionals and put this down. I am not going to do that because one, I'm going to restamp it because I don't like that happy. And two, I need to color it. And then I took more of this and I did a double bow. Just this part was double, so I made a bow and then I just tied it again. There we go, again. Having issues making a bow while people are watching. Oh my gosh, I make myself laugh. I'm glad I can laugh. Goodness. There we go. Phew. And then I just tie it again. And then line them up. You don't have to do a double, you can do a single too, but for fingers to work, that would be lovely, wouldn't it? Well, that did not work. I always do it this way too. You guys tired of watching me flub up bows? Guess what? It's gonna be a single bow so I don't make a fool of myself struggling so much. Should get my bow maker out and then I wouldn't struggle so much, right? There we go. I don't like big bows, little bows. Christine, I got a bow maker from Christine. You think I would use it? Probably would be a good idea, right? because normally you don't struggle so much making just a bow. I mean, I'm a 4K teacher. I can make a bow. You know how many shoes I've tied in a day? There we go. That was a waste of thread right there, of the linen. I'll use it for something else. I am definitely going to redo that bow. I don't know why that is such a struggle. It's all twisted, twisty, curly. And then I put it right there. Actually, that doesn't look bad. And I put it there with a glue dot. I have to get more glue dots. I'm almost out. I just rolled it a little bit because for this little bow, you don't need a big old glue dot. Looked better when I put it down. Every time I pick it up, it doesn't look good. I'll play with it when I put it down. There we go. Take that. Stretch this out. Oh, it's so funny. Why bows are such a problem. Let me show you the one I made earlier. Much cuter with the bow, right? And then I put the embellishment right in the center. And that embellishment is from the Textured Notes Sweet Again. They're the neutral matte dots. I have to get more of these. These I love, especially the crumb cake. I think those are crumb cake. It doesn't say, but I feel like those are crumb cake. And I put it right in the center. So this was how I did that. And then on the inside, I could go ahead and do that part. I went ahead, and here I used the white. I would not be using white. On this one I used basic beige. I don't know why I used white. And I used the corner, spring corners again, and this is one of my favorites. It's just those lines. They give it a little something. The corner lines. Let me fix it again here. Sometimes you just have to drop it down so you can pick it up straight. And I just put a corner here and then turned around and did up there. So let me go ahead and there. And one there. And then, wait, I think I still need this. Nope, that's it. Then I used Memento Black because I did those hearts again. The little ones, and I use the words "You brighten my day." Yeah, and that's from the Spring Corners too. Sometimes I look at them and I can't read them backwards, and all I have to do is turn them the correct way, right? But silly me does not do that. Okay, and I use Memento along with the hearts. I use Memento, and I floated them up just like I did with the other one. Tap, tap, tap. I have a tortoise and he's moving around in his cage or aquarium, whatever you want to call it. And I'm like, what is that noise? Because it's all dark in here except for the lights in the kitchen. The living room's all dark. And then I realized it's the tortoise moving around. I got her as a class pet many years ago, and Now she kind of just stays home because she's happy and I don't want to stress her out by moving her back and forth. She's super cute too. There we go. And then I just colored the same colors I used before. This I'll color really quick because it's not long. I use Lost Lagoon. Oops, this was the dark. As you can tell, I'm an animal lover. I have 2 dogs, a cat, a tortoise, and kind of a horse, because I've been with him for so long, he's like mine. We used to have guinea pigs, which I love, but right now I don't need another pet. We had, what else did we have? We've had, shoot, I put gray next, but that's okay. We've had dragons, bearded dragons, so cool, and I would get one of those again too. They were so fun. That was another class pet. My son had them, and then I got one for the class. He unfortunately passed. Okay, just like that. And then add it to my mat. Just kind of center it. Oops, I moved it. Add it to this. Appreciate you guys sticking around. First time that I've had people that actually are here a lot and actually chatting. Okay, so then that card is done. I'll show you the one that it's done. But like I said, I really want to redo that stamp, but I don't want to make you sit there and do it with me because I don't like the way that happy turned out. Okay. And the last one, another one I should have prepared, but I didn't. So it's another book, but I'm not going to make you sit through making another book. But I want to show you that I use the big rectangle, which is so cool. I'll show you the die. I hope these dies stay around for a very long time. It's this big one. See? I also used a piece of plaid, and I used the die on that, just like that. What else did I use? Our book again. A piece, I'll show you that one. The tassels again, but like I said, I will not make you sit through me making another book. And then the inside. So let me put this down, and I'll show you. This piece I used because I also used something from the Spring Corners. This is like one of my favorite stamps. This one stamp out of here. Oh, I left it out. It's just these little daisies. I think they're so cute and delicate. So I went ahead and stamped 2 of these in Pecan Pie. And I did use the blends a little bit, nothing much, so it didn't using the Pecan Pie wasn't a big deal instead of the Memento. There we go. My area is getting smaller and smaller because I'm not putting anything away. Pretty soon I'm going to be like crafting in like this much room. And then I used, I know it really doesn't go with all the, not that it doesn't go, but I haven't used these colors in this, but I used just a little bit of olive green, old olive for the leaves. And then I used the light Calypso for the middle of the flower. And I left the petals the way they were. Uh-oh, my Gus dog woke up. And then I cut them out. There's a cute little die cut that cuts them out perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut those out really quick. I should actually, you know what I should do next time is bring my TV tray over here, and then I can put my embossing machine up there instead of putting it on the floor. That might be a better idea. Each week I'm trying to figure out things to make it a little bit better. Put this through. Super cute little flower. There's one. Let me do another one really quick so I have them both. Okay, there we go. Ta-da. Easy peasy, right? Put that die back so I don't lose it. Okay, so I die cut 2 little flowers. I did, wonder where that paper went. I have a basic beige, well, I'll just trim it. I have this basic beige piece right here that I went ahead and also embossed with my favorite folder. So let me just trim this piece of paper really quick. I think the size, let's see, 1, 2, 2.5 by 4. I don't know what I did with it. I had it, I know I cut it. Must have dropped somewhere. So 2.5 by 4. And then go ahead and emboss it since I haven't embossed this one. My favorite. I do have to get, I think there's a brick one that is distressed, and I feel like I need to go ahead and get that one. And maybe that will replace this one in my heart. The distressed brick one is in the catalog, and it's in the new catalog too. So I know that'll be around for at least this year. So I think I'm gonna get that so I can stop using this one. I mean, obviously I do use other things, especially when new things come out, but I always come back to this distressed one. And I'm not sure why. I love it so much, but I do. I think it's because it's so imperfect, and it really doesn't, you know, like if you make a mistake, it kind of doesn't show them. So I went ahead and also used the brush, and on this, I have a Basset Hound, Gus, and a miniature long-haired Doxy, Hazel. We used to have Bostons and Boston mixes. Then we had a golden. We've had a lot of dogs, but all very loved and lasted a very long time. We tend to have multiples, so, but we started with a Boston mix, and then Bostons, and then we got a golden, and then my husband wanted another big dog. I didn't want another big dog. I wanted a smaller dog. So we adopted a Basset, thinking that was kind of a big dog and a short, you know, but short to the ground, and kind of fell in love with the breed. And then I wanted a little itty bitty dog for some reason, and that's how we got Hazel. She's a mini dachshund with lots of attitude. She kind of runs the show. So, okay, so let me move these things out of the way. So what I did was I took this and I put it down kind of more to the right and kind of framed it so that it's even around the whole entire side. You definitely don't want a basset if you don't like noise, barking, just talking. He talks all the time. It doesn't always have to be barking. He doesn't do a lot of howling or baying, but he does talk a lot. And that's kind of what I love about him. And I put this kind of just showing about ½ inch all the way around and making it even again. Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys, I forgot to do something. Please work. I forgot to stamp the corner. Oh, darn. That's not going to work. Well, not going to stamp the corner on this one. See what happens when I'm talking? I love it, but it's so funny that I lose track. Okay, I don't think, yeah, I didn't leave enough room. I forgot. See this always in your corner? I love that, isn't it? And then I put the story of us. Like, it's such a sweet card. Like, the sentiments are so sweet. But I did not put enough room so that we can, so I could stamp that. So unfortunately, that's not going to go there. I could redo it later, but right now, this piece goes so that it has the same amount of border around the edge. Oops, like this. And then I put the book, which I'm not going to make you sit through making another one again unless you want me to. And I put it here, and I popped it up and put the flowers around it. One there and one underneath. I love those flowers, so sweet and cute. The saying, I think, looks so much cuter on it. I love that corner saying, so I'm not gonna glue everything down. I'm gonna figure out something so I'll have to recut this. And then I added a bow. There's that bow again, and I'm not tying a bow because I'm struggling with that today. And the inside, I just added the little flowers again, and You Brighten My Day. And I know this is a waste of cardstock, as I said before, and I should, and I do this when I scrapbook. I cut out the center and then use it as one of the mats that you put the picture on, but I just haven't started doing that yet for the cards. So the You Brighten My Day is, again, from the Spring Corners, and I've used it. I'm going to go ahead and use the flower first and put it in the corner. And then You Brighten My Day. Oops, I dropped it. I gotta clean these stamps better when we're all done. Goodness, I keep sticking to my finger. Tell I've been crafting too long today, huh? Never crafting too long. And put that right next to it. There we go. And I did the same coloring. I just used just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of color for the leaves. That's why I called my Stampin' Up! Business 2 Long Dogs and a Stamper, because of my 2 long dogs. There we go. Then I matted this onto the boho blue. If you can hear that sound, we don't have an ice machine in our fridge, and I hate making ice cubes because I feel like I'm always the last one. Like the ice cubes are gone, I go to get them and they're gone. So my sister for Christmas got me a little little ice cube maker that sits on your counter, and it is fabulous because I love everything cold. I have to have cold water, cold Coke, Diet Coke, cold everything. So it's like this personal little ice cube maker, and it works fabulous. But you can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Inside. And that's it. That's how you make that card. I'll show you it again. Ta-da. See, I put Story of Us. This is how I made it the correct way, the tassels. Where's the card? I'll show you. The first time I made the tassels, I'm such a goof. This is what I did. Hold on, let me find them. I will embarrass myself because how silly. Okay, I made the tassels and then I glued them on the string, not thinking to put the string in the tassel. Oh, you can't see it. I'm sorry. Let's move it so I can see it. Not seeing that, see how I put the tassel and I just glued them on the string thinking it looks like it? Well, yeah, well, silly. You put the string in it and roll the string up. I got smarter as I went, and I did it that way from then on. Okay. Okay, let me show you everything we did today. I hope you liked it. This is like one of my favorites. And I'm so sad that it's on last chance and that nobody can get it anymore. But here are the cards. Let me close my ink pad here. Here is a gift card holder and another. Oh, there's this one. I like this one better. And my little Post-it note holder. And then the whole folder itself. So I had these up here, and you most definitely can add more cards. You could probably add at least one, maybe two more. And like I said, I'm going to add a cute pen, I think, in here, or a little notebook, or some candy. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. There we go. So what do you think? I loved making it, and I plan on making more for the craft fair coming up. I'm going to be live next Wednesday, but it might not be with new things. I might show past classes that I've had because I really need to make a bunch of stuff for, not a bunch, but some things so people actually come to my booth and look and hopefully want to take some classes or purchase some product. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let me turn you around so that you can see me. Okay, here we go. You're gonna get dizzy. So, and I am gonna still, I'm gonna still go live, and I might have maybe one thing new to do. Just because, oh, there's my ice maker, if you can see it over there. It's so cute. See it right there. So I can have like one thing new, or that I'm gonna be making for the actual fair, and I'll show you that, but I'm also gonna show you a bunch of my past classes the last few weeks that have been going live, just to show you what I have out there. Thank you to those who stayed with me and watched me make this fun folder, and I hope you come back. And thank you for subscribing and liking and sharing. I appreciate it so much. Please continue to do that. 2 Long Dogs and a Stamper, both Facebook and YouTube. And if you need to get a hold of me, Georgie's 2 Long Dogs at gmail.com, or you can message me on my Facebook page, Two Long Dogs and a Stamper. I appreciate it all. I hope you have lots of smiles and lots of love this week, and I will see you next Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Okay? Take care. Bye-bye now.